But anyway, let's move on to the week after, and yet another collaboration here. It turns out our dear perennial favorite Joji is dropping his full-length debut album October 26th called Ballads 1, which I assume is the musical equivalent of calling your movie the first movie. But yeah, so we got that to look forward to, and I'm assuming the previous song we heard was going to be on that one. But now we have a new single here called Can't Get Over You, and for those who have already been familiar with the Joji oeuvre across his previous singles and his EP, this is actually quite a bit different. His vocal performance is still, like, in that sort of moodier, lower register, like, you know, obviously he's not fucking, saucing on you about how to make stir fry or whatever, or being a meme machine or shut the fuck up or something. But the actual beat itself, which actually comes courtesy of Adult Swim Festival performer Clams Casino, it's every bit as that kind of like minimalist, chopped and screwed vibe as some of his other instrumentals, but it's got this very groovy funk to a lot of it. Like, it gets into you and you can, vibe with it. And I think Joji's pretty much aware of that as well, because the video is not really dramatic compared to previous music videos as much as it is just like that cornball, Joji humor. I mean, he slaps an ice cream cone out of a kid's hand, and his posse consists of, gangsters holding the plasma sword from Halo and the Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts, amongst others. So this is the more fun kind of Joji, and it is a fun song, props to him for that.
Yeah, this is definitely a good vibe song. And also to note, also got some listener help from Thundercat as well.
Really now?
Oh yeah,
very
right.
nice.
Oh yeah, this is very like bounce wavy track. Very short too. It's like under like 2 minutes. Like I guess like a minute and 48 seconds. Like, damn, that is kind of short. Like very short.
But time to move on from all of those collaborations and spacey vibes just to some straight up gnarly metal with the other Adult Swim single we have to talk about this week. And this is kind of a special case because the album that this is on literally came out this past weekend. So it feels kind of weird to talk about it, especially since I haven't gotten around to that album yet. But, we might as well bring it up here. Anyway, yes, the past entry in the Adult Swim Singles program is from High on Fire. It's a track called Spewed from the Earth that is actually the opening track of their recent release, Electric Messiah. And, as far as your expectations of High on Fire music, those expectations are certainly met. It's a very, thundering, driving, aggressive kind of tune. You can just feel, like, the aggressive, meaty, chunky, chugging riffs, the fast D beats, Matt Pike's fucking rocky, gravel lane vocals. The whole thing is rapid but steady, and there's a lot of, there's a really great bridge in there where, the vocals drop out just to leave, the musical onslaught just pummeling away at everything, and how it, builds up anticipation for that usual shreddy solo or everything. It's High on Fire. It's good. Go listen to it. Why aren't you listening to it? Come on, go. Now, please.
Yeah, this is heavy. This is my kind of heavy, and it's a reminder for me to check out that album. I really should go and do that, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should. And it kind of makes me wish that I was able to catch that Adult Swim Festival performance. Although I have seen them live before, so I suppose that memory counts as well. But seriously, though, that festival sounds like it was nuts. And I would have liked to see Zach Fox again. That guy's a really fun host. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, let's move on to Anderson .Paak and Kendrick.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on that shit now. I've been anticipating this ever since they announced this shit.
Yeah, we're still waiting on a release date for Paak's upcoming album Oxnard. Come on, man, you're keeping us waiting. You give us a banger, and then you give us this, and not with no date. Come on, man, you're busting our balls over here. But yeah,
we got to hurry up
from the album. Yeah, we got the single Tints, which is him and Kendrick. And Mark, go ahead.
Oh yes, it is. Oh yes, everything I want. It's funky. It's groovy. It is so damn good. You got because you got singing Anderson .Paak on there. He sing his ass off, and because you got the Kendrick verse, which well, no shit, he's pretty good. Which this is some good shit that you would dance to. This is funky, groovy, dancing. This is that good shit. Like the good shit. We go like, I feel like when he goes like, I've been feeling like cooped up so I get some fresh air. Why won't you get the roof off? And never rains here. You ain't got a flash where you take your picture. You got to join the extra pictures. Probably want to shoot the niggas down for less. I hear. And of course you got the good Kendrick verse where you probably think a nigga trolling like or showing off the cameras right. Fuck you think a fishbowl inside. $100 pressure, bitch. Been to the mall, been from afar. I was made in this image. You call me a god.
Oh.
Oh man, like this. Okay, like okay, like this. He definitely brought us like some good singles, and they are really very different. Like they're vast, like very very different in in the sense like you got first one being like this footwork type of thing, bubbling, which is kind of like this whole back in rapper shit, and this one is very is very groove centric type of song, and the more I think about Oxnard, the more like I can't wait for this. And looking what's come. He said Matt was involved in the project, which nice. He's like, hey, Pusha T and shit. Okay. Anyway, I can't wait for this album coming out whenever.
Yes, whenever. Which is not soon enough. But yeah, it's always good to hear Kendrick on a guest verse that isn't, bad. Which is clearly when he's with other rappers instead of, mediocre pop stars. Yeah. And yeah, you get can you tell that Anderson .Paak likes himself some Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I made a note of that. It's like a really good hybrid of 70s, 80s, and 90s, pop and R&B. It's very strong in the track, and Kendrick's got some solid bars.
Yes, the solidest. Wait, that's not a word. You're going to regret that because we're about to provoke a big reaction out of you right now with our last song this week, which comes courtesy of Jaden Smith.
Okay, let me just say, I blame the melon for making me take a listen to this. He did a track review of it, and I just had to go, okay, how crazy is that beat? And, yeah, it is what it is.
But let's give some context here. So Mr. Kaz Can himself... By the way, what the fuck is going on the Neo Yokio Instagram?
Nothing, and we are going to keep it like that, okay?
Good. Anyway, it looks like Mr. Smith is preparing a new project for November 17th called The Sunset Tapes, A Cool Tape Story. Wow, that is that is so clunky, it could practically be an RPG title. Hell, that probably sounds like it could be a Kingdom Hearts spinoff. Kingdom Hearts, The Sunset Tapes, A Cool Tape Story. Something like that, I assume. But, yeah, so with that announcement, we have a new track from the man that is appearing on this release, and it's... wow, really? First, we're doing Nicki Minaj referencing Street Fighter, and now Jaden Smith releases a song called Goku. And, okay, I'll give him a minor bit of credit. At least he doesn't falsely... Well, okay, hang on. It's debatable whether Goku is the good guy of Dragon Ball at this point, especially given where I'm at Super right now. But at least he doesn't erroneously ascribe any non-accurate characteristics to Goku, which is more than can be said for Miss Minaj. But yeah, this is one of those trappy as fuck, rap jams. Although I will say his flow sounds weirdly like Triple X Tentacion. I don't know if that's just me or what, but that's the vibe I get. And, the beat itself is kind of nuts. There's those sharp, brass horn stings on various parts of the beat. And then it, of course, uses one of the age-old stock sound effects, the Howie scream. And yes, I only literally found out yesterday that is what that particular stock scream is called. Not to be confused with the Wilhelm scream. Now I gotta, keep track of that whenever it comes up in the movies. And yeah, that just kind of awkwardly crops up at points in the song. Now I think about it, I should probably edit a sample in somewhere in here so people should know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that props up in the song, and at least it's not a sleepy ass trap banger. But I don't know, I get nothing out of this, and I'm not even sure why he's comparing himself to Goku anyway. That's still confusing me.
Is he more like a Trunks? If he's like a, I don't know, like a Trunks or what's the Gohan, or I don't know any of the motherfuckers.
It makes even less sense in context. The lyrics go, "My credit card didn't go through. I'm balling. I feel like I'm Goku." Like, what does one have to do with the other?
I mean, I don't even think Goku has credit cards. I'm sure Chi-Chi controls all the finances in that house. Because, if you like Goku with the money, he's going to spend it on some dumb shit.
I mean, that about a lot of food.
Probably.
The nigga was hungry.
Anything to say, Mark?
Yeah, I listened to this, like, at first, I forgot about this track until you put it up. It's like, oh shit, I forgot about that track. This was like, wow, this is some weird shit. Because it almost sounds like when it gets to the other part, it sounds like a rap EDM type of shit. I mean, not like the shit that his father be doing sometimes, but yeah, it's whatever. Like, I just want to. It's like I kind of don't care to go back to it. I mean, I was too busy going to the other tracks, which was better. So yeah, that was like oh shit, I forgot about that track. I gotta look at this shit type of thing.
Well, remember, we wouldn't have to talk about this if it wasn't for someone else pasting it in the chat.
Again, I blame the melon.
There's only so many times you could blame the melon. What, did Cal Chichester induct you into the Illuminati? Whatever. Anyway, and now for our other news topic this week. Something that's really confusing. And, okay, so earlier these past couple of weeks, it was revealed that apparently Toys R Us might not be fully out of business. I mean, apparently they're gonna try and, break themselves out of their bankruptcy state and I guess readapt their branding or strategy, which I think involves maybe opening new stores in the States or just focusing on overseas efforts. Either way, apparently the brand is not as 100% truly dead as we thought, despite having filed for bankruptcy. Because apparently you can potentially, in some aspects, work your way out of Chapter 11 in certain scenarios. And apparently we have another company here that's, not giving in to bankruptcy, and that is Gibson.
Yeah, so a couple months back, we talked about Gibson, as in Gibson guitars, or Gibson brands, however you want to call them, filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and trying to restructure the company. As it turns out, there's been some restructuring going on, as the private equity firm of KKR & Co. is going to be stepping in to lead the Gibson brand under one condition. That CEO Henry, just Kiewicz, I'm sorry if I butchered that name, but old white dude, let's call him old white dude.
Sounds about right.
At least I think he is. Would be removed from the board, which I think a change in leadership would work. Just, being a guitar guy, seeing this company kind of make some products that doesn't really care that much toward, people. I'm just saying they put out some weird guitars lately that seems a bit excessive, but we're not here to talk about that. So,
are they the ones that made the 18-string guitar that Jared Dines plays?
No, that was a company in Australia.
Ah.
Yeah. They don't even make 7-string guitars, so, except for that one that Matt Keefe has. But whatever. So the plan is Gibson will be relaunching in November with a downsized number of employees, about 800. And reportedly, from a statement made to Bloomberg, KKR director Matthew Ross says the company's new board will be mostly guitarists, which is good. That's a good step in the right direction. But business is one thing. Trying to sell your crap to people is another. And lately, they haven't been doing a good job of that, as I mentioned before. Sure, they have Slash as their big guitar spokesman, but trust me, regular people are not going to spend $4,000 for a Les Paul when they can get a more versatile guitar for a fraction of the price. Trust me, I know. I have a $200 Ibanez guitar I've been using for years. I've gotten a lot of mileage out of it. It may not be fancy, but it gets the job done, and that's what people want. So, Gibson, I hope you're paying attention to what the people want. You know, unless you're going to try and keep selling people $4,000 guitars that look awful and have weird electronics that nobody asks for, especially on those 2019 Les Paul models. Ugh.
Damn.
But yeah, you know, first
ass.
off, as a fellow Ibanez player at one point in my life, I can testify to that point. Kudos. But what I'm wondering is, I mean, I think maybe with like, you know, all the guitarists that they're hiring as employees at the company, maybe that means they can tap into what people actually want out of an instrument and, you know, maybe be able to sell people stuff that they would actually want and use. But then there's all like, you know, the higher cost, you know, more dense, intricate business stuff. And, you know, being a good guitarist and, you know, understanding manufacturing stuff doesn't mean much if you don't understand business. But then again, if they know how to, like, downsize things efficiently to, you know, sell more efficient models that sell at high volumes instead of, as you say, like, $4,000 fucking shit stuffed with electronics that nobody asked for, maybe they might pull themselves out of this for the long term. Who knows?
Yeah. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how the restructuring will go. We have another month until the quote-unquote relaunch begins, and maybe there'll be a showing of Gibson at the Winter NAMM show in either Vegas or Anaheim. I never remember where they hold it, but this is going to be an interesting period for Gibson. It's going to be a sink or swim period. And trust me, these guys cannot afford to sink anymore. They really can't. Like, this is it. If they can't get their crap together after this, that's it. Game over.